Hello students, so today I am going to start the new chapter. The chapter name is quadrilateral, that is chapter number 8. Okay, so what is a quadrilateral? Quadrilateral is a plain closed figure having 4 sides. Okay, 4 sides and 4 angles. So this is what? This is a quadrilateral. Next, what are the different properties of quadrilateral? We have to study. Okay, so the first basic property. Why we say basic property? Because there are different types of quadrilateral and this basic property holds true in every type of quadrilateral. So the property is angle sum property of a quadrilateral. The name of the property is angle sum property of a quadrilateral. So when we add all the angles of a quadrilateral, we will get the answer 360 degree. Okay, so this is what? This is angle sum property of a quadrilateral. Next is the types of quadrilateral. That means, see, there are 6 types of quadrilateral and in this 6 type of quadrilateral, the property, that is angle sum property, it holds true in every quadrilateral. Okay. So, first one is trapezium, then second is square, third is rectangle, fourth is rhombus, fifth is kite and sixth one is parallelogram. So, already in our previous classes, we have studied the properties of each type of quadrilateral. So your homework is to write down the properties of every quadrilateral. For example, if you are writing the first type of quadrilateral equal to square, then point wise you have to write the properties. For example, in a square, all the 4 sides and 4 angles are equal. Each angle is equal to 90 degree. The diagonals are equal. Diagonal bisect each other. So these are the properties of a square. So like this, point wise you have to write the different properties of each quadrilateral. So next part is the properties of a parallelogram. So there are many properties of a parallelogram which we have studied in our earlier classes. So here I am going to tell you how to prove the theorem based upon what? Parallelogram. So see here, the first theorem is 8.1. A diagonal of a parallelogram divides it into 2 congruent triangles. Okay, so that means the diagonal of a parallelogram divides the parallelogram into 2 equal triangles. Congruent means what? Equal. Okay, equal on the basis of some criterias, and some criterias which we have already studied in triangles like SAS, ASA. Okay, so based on those criteria, we have to prove that the 2 triangles are congruent. So how we can prove? First of all, we have to draw a diagonal. So this is a ABCD, this is a parallelogram. So first of all, I have to draw a diagonal. Okay. So now it is dividing into 2 triangles, but we don't know it is congruent or not. So how to prove it? See, already we know in a parallelogram opposite sides are equal and parallel. So there are different criterias for proving the congruency of 2 triangles. So here you can see DC is equal to AB. So in these 2 triangles, the opposite sides are equal. Similarly, here AD of this triangle will be equal to BC of the second triangle. Okay, so I can mark like this. So this first side is equal to this opposite side. So DC is equal to AB. This is the first criteria. Second is AD is equal to BC. And third criteria is AC. AC is the common side between the 2 triangles. Okay. So that means by SSS, I can say by side congruent rule, the 2 triangles are congruent. Okay. So like this, by using SSS criteria, we can prove that 2 triangles are congruent. So there are other criteria also, like see, we know that these 2 opposite sides are parallel. So if the lines are parallel and if there is a transversal, so here the role of transversal is what? Who is doing the role of transversal? AC. AC is the transversal. So DC is parallel to AB and AC is the transversal. Therefore, this angle is equal to this angle. And these angles are called what? Alternate opposite angles. Okay. So this angle will be equal to this. Same, you can say this angle will be equal to this angle. Okay. If you see DC is parallel to AD and again AC is the transversal, then this angle will be equal to this. So, and the third one, this side is a common side between the two triangles. Therefore, we can say by angle, side, angle. Okay, so because side is enclosed, or you can say side is included between the two angles. So therefore, by angle, side, angle, the two triangles will be what? They will be congruent. Okay, so there are two criteria. By using the two criteria, you can easily prove that the two triangles are congruent. So the next theorem is theorem 8.2. In a parallelogram, opposite sides are equal. So already we know that in a parallelogram, opposite sides are equal. Next, similarly, there are some more theorems. So you can easily learn this theorem, and you have to remember, because see, whenever you are doing the questions, you have to write the theorem, the sentence of the theorem. Okay, so here the most important theorem you have here is theorem 8.6, that is the diagonals of a parallelogram bisect each other. So we know that there are two diagonals of a parallelogram and they will intersect at a point, and after intersecting the two parts, okay, after intersection there will be two parts of the diagonal, and the two parts will be what? Equal, because the meaning of bisection, or you can say bisect, is what? Dividing into two equal parts. Okay, so let us prove this theorem. So see students, here the given condition is ABCD is a parallelogram. So you can see this is a parallelogram in which I have drawn the diagonals. The diagonals are AC and BD, and they are intersecting. For now they are only intersecting. Okay, they are intersecting at a point O. So what we have to prove? We have to prove after the intersection, the two parts of the diagonals will be what? Equal. So AO is equal to OC and BO is equal to OD. This one we have to prove. So how to prove it? See, we can take two triangles. So you can see here, we can take this triangle and this triangle. And if we prove that these two triangles are congruent, then by CPCT we can easily prove that the remaining sides of one triangle will be equal to the remaining side of the other triangle. Okay. So here you can see in these two triangles, this angle is equal to this. We know this is alternate opposite angles, because AB and DC, they are parallel to each other, because this is a parallelogram. So angle OAB is equal to angle OCD. Okay. Then the second criteria will be angle ODC, that means this one angle. This angle will be equal to angle OBA, that means this one angle. Okay, this is the second criteria, and the third criteria is this side. This side is equal to this one. Opposite sides of a parallelogram are equal. Okay, so by angle, side, angle, the two triangles are congruent. So the congruency rule is, congruency criteria is angle, side, angle. So that means the two triangles are congruent. Therefore, by CPCT we can say that the corresponding sides, because now side is only the remaining part. So AO is equal to OC and BO will be equal to OD. So like this you can easily prove by taking the two opposite triangles. So the next theorem is theorem 8.7, which is the converse of theorem 8.6, and that is also very simple. There it is given that it is a quadrilateral. A quadrilateral is given to you, and in that quadrilateral the diagonals are bisecting each other. So if the diagonals are bisecting each other, then you can say that that quadrilateral is a parallelogram. So how to prove a quadrilateral is a parallelogram? So see, here also you can use the lines and angle topic, that the topic which we have already studied in lines and angles, that is, if alternate angles are equal or corresponding angles are equal, then we can say that the lines are parallel. So if you prove that the opposite sides of that parallel lines, then you can say that quadrilateral is a parallelogram. Okay. So the last theorem is theorem 8.8. A quadrilateral is a parallelogram if a pair of opposite sides is equal and parallel. So if a quadrilateral is given to you, and also it is given that only one pair of opposite sides are equal and parallel, then you can say that the quadrilateral is a parallelogram. Okay. So this is the last theorem. So see the first question. First question is the angles of a quadrilateral are given in ratio. So 3:5:9:30. There are 4 angles of a quadrilateral and the ratios are given. So here you have to find all the angles of the quadrilateral. So you know that if it is given in ratio, that individually we can write the angles like this. Okay, 3x, let the first angle be 3x, second one is 5x, third is 9x and fourth one is 13x. Okay, well, some property of a quadrilateral, we can write 3x plus 5x plus 9x plus 13x is equal to 360 degree. Okay, so after solving this, we will get, this one will be 3 plus 5 will be 8, 8 plus 9 is 17, 17 plus 13 will be 30. So 30x is equal to 360. So now after solving, we will get the answer of x, the value of x, and the value of x is 12. So now what we have to do, the value of x, that is 12, we have to put in each angle. So 3x is the first angle and it is the smallest angle because see 3 is smaller than 5, 9, 13, etc. Okay. So 3x you can easily find, the first angle will be 36. Then second angle you can also find 5 into 12, that will be 60. So like this you can find every angle of a quadrilateral. With this I am ending today's class. So practice the theorem and the questions of examples. So in the next lecture I am going to give you the answers of the remaining questions. Okay, thank you.